The Surah Takasur, the meaning of that is mutual rivalry. And then we need to understand what mutual rivalry is. So a summary of this surah, what it is all about. There were two tribes, Bani Haritha and Bani al-Harith of Ansar in Medina, who were fighting and doing some rivalries between them. And what they were doing in that rivalry is they were talking about, recounting about the glories and illustration and deeds of their living men, of their tribes. And they had gone to their graveyard and started recounting what their dead men did. And they were bragging and saying big things, glorious deeds that their tribes did. And in reality what they were doing, they were fighting and they were doing vying and they were doing competition. At that time this surah was revealed from Allah. And what it said, that in it the people have been warned of the evil consequences of world worship, because of which they spend their lives in acquiring more and more of worldly wealth, material benefits and pleasures, and position and power till death. And in vying, in competing with one another, either individuals or societies, and bragging and boasting about their acquisitions. So this is a disease that Allah is talking about. He's not talking about worldly wealth or material wealth, but there's a disease that he's referring to, and we'll talk in detail about it. And then in this one pursuit, what they do is this pursuit occupied them so much that they left no time or opportunity to think or pursue about higher things in life. And after warning about this evil, then what Allah has told them, that what really they're vying about. They're vying about the blessings that Allah has given them, either individually or in families or in societies. And what Allah is talking about, all these blessings that you're amassing and enjoying thoughtlessly are not mere blessings, but are also a means of your triumph. So all these blessings that we are enjoying in this life, this is not means just for enjoyment, but these are trial for all of us, individually, also on a societal level. For each one of these blessings and comforts, you will surely be called to account in the hereafter. So every single blessings that we can count on, blessings that we cannot count on, we need to give account to Allah and hereafter. So this whole surah is talking about that topic. So let's go into the first verse. This is Surah Takasur. The number in Quran is Surah 102. So it has 8 verses, and we'll quickly go through it. So the first verse says, Al-Hakumut Takasur. Your craze for more and more and mutual rivalry for worldly gains has made you heedless. Now here Allah is not talking about mutual rivalry of what, and He's not talking about heedless from what. He's just talking about the topic, the disease. So let's go with that. Al-Hakum. What's the meaning of Al-Hakum? The word Al-Hakum is from Lahaf, which originally means heedlessness. But in Arabic, it has a very specific meaning. It means it is used for every occupation and which engrosses man so completely that he becomes heedless of the more important things in life. So anything, any topic, any occupation in life, any hobby that occupies most of your time, your thought, that you do not have enough time to focus on other higher priorities in life. So this will mean that man has become so obsessed with some occupation, whatever it is, that he has lost sight of everything most important that is in life. So takatur is from katrat, which has 3 meanings. So the second word, takatur, has 3 meanings. That man should strive to gain more and more of everything, that the people should compete with one another for gaining more and more, and should brag and boast of possessing greater abundance of things than others. So what in reality this Al-Hakum Al-Takasur is talking about, that it means that the passion for piling up more and more has made the people heedless of everything more important than it. So whatever they're piling up and they're spending all their time, that has occupation, that passion has taken all their time, that they do not have any other time to focus on more important things in life. So because of that occupation, Al-Hakum Al-Takasur, they have become heedless of God, they become heedless of hereafter, of the moral bounds and moral responsibilities, of the rights of others, and of their own obligation to render those rights. So these are the important responsibilities and roles in our life. These people have forgotten, because all their possession, all their passion in life is to gain more and more, is to compete with one another. Once you gain it, then you start boasting and bragging about it. So it's the kind of disease that Allah is talking about. And here, that's the word Al-Hakum Al-Takasur is referring to. Now if you go to the second verse, second page, here Allah is talking about Hatta Zurtumul Maqabir. Until in the same craze you reach the graves. So not only you occupy yourself in that craze, you don't have the understanding that a day will come when time will end. So that occupation occupies you for the rest of your life, until that time comes and the time ends. That is, you expand your whole life in the same craze and endeavor until the time comes when you must die and leave the world. So they want to acquire more and more of wealth, if we take the topic of wealth, no matter how and by what means it is acquired. And they desire to have more and more means of comfort and physical enjoyment, and they are overwhelmed by this greed. They have become wholly insensitive as to the ultimate end of this way of living. So in short, Takatur has many forms which have engrossed individuals as well as societies, so completely that they have become heedless of everything beyond the world, its benefit and pleasures. So what Allah is talking about, this is a disease that engrosses people and societies and nations, that they start acquiring whatever they can, and then their whole time, their whole living, their whole attitude, their whole focus in life is just to acquire more and more. And once they have acquired that material wealth or whatever you want to call it, then they try to brag about it to those people who have not acquired it or who are less than that. So that's the disease Allah is talking about in Surah Takasur. So if you go to the third verse, then Allah is talking about what's the result of this occupation, what's the result of this disease. So Allah is talking and giving a command, is giving a statement. Kalla sawfa ta'lamun, by no means soon you shall know. That is, you are under the delusion that the abundance of the worldly goods and surpassing others in it is real progress and success, whereas the opposite is the case. So the reality is different from delusion. And soon you will know its evil end, and you will realize that it was a stupendous error in which you remained involved throughout your life. So here the word soon may mean the hereafter, or it could also mean death, because for death every individual's time finishes. And soon after that, man understands the reality of this world. So whether his occupation which engaged him throughout life were a means of good fortune and success, or were it a misfortune of failure. So all his occupation, what he was doing, what his goal in life was, where his time was going,